All right, come on in. Let's talk about something they definitely do not teach you in business school. We're going to peel back the curtain on a kind of wealth building that is happening all around us, every single day, but it stays completely off the radar. Okay, let's dive right in. I want you to really sit with this question for a second. You see all the flashy headlines, right? The tech gurus, the billion-dollar startups. But what if all of that is just a distraction? What if the real, predictable path to financial freedom is, well, a little bit boring? And this, right here, is the core idea we're unpacking today. Forget all the hype. There's a whole world of entrepreneurs out there who are quietly, methodically creating empires in industries that most people just overlook. They're not looking for fame, they're looking for cash flow.
So here's our map for this little session. Think of it as your guide to seeing the opportunities everyone else is missing. We're going to go through each of these, step by step.
First up, we have to deconstruct a huge myth. I call it the glamour trap. It's this belief that real success has to look like a Silicon Valley startup, with the fancy glass offices and hoodies. But that's a really narrow and honestly often misleading picture of how wealth is actually created. Now look at this slide. This contrast is everything. On the left, you've got the world everyone talks about. It's high risk, high failure. It's basically chasing a lottery ticket. But on the right, that's the world we're exploring. The offices might smell like detergent, yeah, and the infrastructure is super simple, but the key difference, the real prize, is predictable cash flow. They aren't chasing unicorns, they are methodically building fortunes. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Automatic money machines. The goal here isn't just to own a business, it's to own a system that makes you money with very, very little of your direct involvement. And our first example is the classic, humble laundromat. I know it might not sound exciting, but it is absolutely brilliant. Why? Because it's built on one of the most powerful business models in existence. So, the whole concept is this simple. You are renting out machines. You own the asset, and the customer provides all the labor. You install the equipment, you maintain it, and it just generates cash day in and day out, whether you're there or not. It's a beautiful, simple, and incredibly effective system. Now let's watch how this model evolves. Take a look at the modern car wash tunnel. This takes the automation of the laundromat and adds a layer of pure rocket fuel to it. The subscription model. Customers pay you a flat monthly fee, and they can wash their car as often as they want. And this right here shows you the incredible power of subscriptions. Once your big costs, the tunnel, the brushes, the dryers are paid for, what does it actually cost you to wash one extra car for a subscriber? Almost nothing. A little water, a little soap. It is basically a license to print money. Okay, our third secret is all about your mindset. It's about finding the strategic advantage in industries that other people find, well, undesirable. This is where you find the gold that everyone else is too proud or just too lazy to dig for. Just think about something like specialized waste management, construction debris or medical waste. The beauty of this is what we call barriers to entry. You need expensive permits, you need specialized trucks. That automatically filters out all the casual, lazy competition. And let's be real, nobody puts septic tank cleaner on their childhood dream board. That lack of glamour, it protects your profit margins like a fortress. All right, moving on to our fourth point, assets that work alone. These are businesses where the asset itself does all the heavy lifting. So instead of renting a machine for a few minutes, you're renting space over a long period of time. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the simple genius of the self-storage industry. You build a box and you charge people a monthly fee to keep their stuff in it. You are literally selling secure, empty space. And the business model is incredibly efficient. Contracts are all digital, access is through smart codes, and you need hardly any employees. Better yet, the default rate is shockingly low. Why? Because people will pay that $50 a month to avoid the pain of losing a lifetime of memories or their grandma's old furniture. It's a powerful emotional lock-in. We see this same principle with the evolution of vending machines. I'm not just talking chips and soda. Think bigger, electronics in airports or bags of ice at a campground. The key takeaway here is all about scalability. Like the slide says, one machine is a hobby, but 50, all serviced by one efficient route, that's a small empire. All right, this brings us to the master strategy. This is the secret that takes all these individual, boring businesses and turns them into real generational wealth. It's called the roll-up. So what is it? Put simply, you find a market that's just full of small, independent operators. Think mom-and-pop shops. You buy several of them, And then you bring them all under one modern, efficient management system.
Here's how it works, in 3 steps. First, you find a fragmented industry, laundromats, car washes, plumbing companies, where a lot of the owners are ready to retire. Second, you consolidate. You buy 5 or 10 of these businesses and you apply modern software for booking, payments, and marketing. And third, this is where the magic happens. You create massive value. By combining these businesses and running them way more efficiently, the new organized group becomes exponentially more valuable than the individual parts ever were on their own. And that brings us to the end of our lesson, but really it's a beginning. The whole goal here wasn't just to give you a list of businesses to start, it was to give you a completely new lens to see the world through. This is the shift in perspective I really want you to have. Opportunity is literally everywhere, but it's often disguised as something boring or mundane. From now on, when you see these things, I want you to see the system behind them. See the automatic, predictable cash machine.
And this is the last thought I want to leave you with. Building this kind of wealth, it's not about chasing glamour or getting lucky. It's about understanding simple, powerful systems and applying them with discipline. And when you do that, success isn't some long shot. It's just a logical outcome.
So the lesson is over. Now the question is, for you. With this new lens, what opportunities are you finally going to see? What invisible empire will you build?